Hey guys, and welcome back. I'm Rachel O'Leary. It's Thursday and I had hoped to get downstairs today, but my knee's not gonna allow it. So thought I would do a little bit of maintenance on Sid's tanks and take you out to the greenhouse real quick and show you what's going on out there with the various gardens as well as the tubs. Now, this aquarium is one of the least neglected during my recovery because I can sit in my rolly chair and do almost all the maintenance on it. And it's an easygoing tank. It doesn't require much pruning other than thinning down this moss and doing a simple water change. So that is what I'm going to do. There is some spots of algae here that need to be addressed. So I'll probably manually remove those and then see how it looks. I'm not really stressing about it. Now, I didn't bother using a small gauge siphon for this aquarium because I just vacuumed it last week and the substrate looks pretty clean, and I don't want to disrupt that hair grass. The hair grass is looking really good. So what I'm going to do is just take these Aquavitro forceps and remove the spots of algae. I think I'm developing algae because I had been fertilizing this tank, at least sporadically, and I just haven't thought about it recently. I'll take this moss downstairs to put in my Amano tank, or get one of my kids to do it more likely. But since it's not spreading and it's really not that bad, this manual removal should be enough to deal with it for now. It looks like some of it's actually growing onto the wood, which isn't shocking. I could use scissors here to trim the moss, but I'm kind of enjoying this overgrown, bushy look that it has. Although the shape of the driftwood underneath this moss was quite nice also, so we'll see. You never know where my whims will take me with this. Now, I am trying to not let too much of this algae-infested moss get in other parts of the aquarium because I want to limit where it is. So I'm trying to catch these little tiny pieces before they get trapped in the healthy moss. But as you can see, and we'll take a closer look here in a second, the hair grass is doing really well and everything else looks pretty darn good. All things considered, I mean, this tank's just been getting very basic maintenance and been being fed. I think I am actually going to take my scissors to some of this. I didn't realize how long it had gotten. It's actually hiding the plants that I want to be visible, like some of my buces in here. So I'm just going to try and unearth some of those and push the moss back a bit into the nooks and crannies of the wood so that it doesn't shade out my hair grass and so that the buces can get enough light. This will also make some of the whorls in the driftwood a bit more visible and give a bit more swimming space for Sid while still retaining his quiet area up here that he so likes. See, even though this is a 5-gallon, and I did this I've done this twice since my surgery, so twice in the past 7 weeks, I still got a solid, almost, well, we'll say tennis ball of moss out of this aquarium, and I could easily pull out that much more. I am occasionally supplementing this tank with some of the Tropica Specialized Fertilizer. I give it a little squeeze, and I generally do that on the days that I'm doing water changes, or once or twice a week. I mean, I wouldn't really call that a fertilizing regimen, but it does seem to help the hair grass from dying out and give it a better color. But you can see that where this area was all shaded before is now open, and there's some hair grass that has spread there. Hopefully it'll recolonize. Let me get the refill water and then we'll take a closer look. So things are a bit more tidy now. Sid loves his water changes. I know some of you have expressed concern that this is too much flow for him, but if you look at this nozzle, I have it bouncing off the front glass, and it provides that back third being really quiet. And he has plenty of spaces to avoid that flow, though he does seem to like to play in it. See, the hair grass is holding its own. This is that area that was totally shaded that we've now given more light to. It's spread over most of the bottom of the aquarium. This is Subwassertang, which is a liverwort. This is an unknown species of crypt. These are some bucephalandras, moss, and there's various Anubias bonsai and more buces there. And then in the back is Echinodorus rennie sword. And all in all, I mean, with how low maintenance this aquarium is, I'm pretty darn happy, and Sid seems super healthy and happy. And again, it's just a real easy aquarium to have in my living room. And I've been very thankful for it since I've been out for surgery. So out here by the greenhouse, all my plants are filling in really well. You can see how massive these trays of carnivorous plants have gotten, and how well the bog garden's doing. There's a lot of size that's come out in a lot of the plants. A few didn't make it through winter, so there's some empty spots like in here that I will eventually move some of these guys into, but I really wanted to see how this went before I put in my biggest, most mature plants. I have a lot of these volunteer plants, which I think are bog orchids, but time will tell. And even some of my sundews are flowering, which is exciting to me. And the succulent garden's doing just fine as well. Been really happy with how it looks. Looking forward to it filling in and covering all of that substrate. But so far so good. Let's take a walk into the greenhouse. See how things are going in there. I had hoped to get down to the fish room for you guys, but my knee just isn't allowing it today. Doing that tank maintenance the other day really overdid it for me. I have been seeing tons of shrimp in these bins. I'm trying to spot them for you now. Some of them are easier to see than others. You can see some yellow guys right there. And there are babies everywhere. They're too small to focus on without being able to see pretty well. This is the blue shrimp bin. I counted about 50 of them yesterday, so that's good news. And I have found fry in every tub. Now, again, it's difficult to show you guys too clearly without netting them out. And I don't really want to do that, so you'll just have to take my word for it. But every single tub except for this one, which is Danio tinwini, the gold ring Danio, I've seen obvious fry in. I also found, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see or not, a dragonfly nymph. So in a future video I'm going to be doing sort of a how-to on what you do about that. Basically you have to treat it with chemicals. Chitin inhibitors, which prevents them from growing and developing. This bin still has the most fry. I mean, it's literally teeming with it. I'm really stoked. I did get out here again and fertilize all the lilies, as well as all the pots of marginals. And I think this Sunday I'm going to do a species spotlight on this sensitive plant for you guys. It seemed to be a good amount of interest. It looks like about once a week I have to top off these bins. As you can see, it's nearly 100 degrees in here today. Very hot, although it's mild and rainy outside. I think next year I'm going to try and get some shade cloth for this, so it's just a little less hot. There's my chickens. Some of you guys really enjoy seeing them. We have 4 red sex lynx or red stars and 1 barred rock. The tubs over here are doing really well. No fry visible in any of them yet, but the plants are doing well, and I wanted to show you guys this one Semper Vivum or hen and chick I have. Look at the growth on that. Isn't that insane? That thing looks like absolutely comical. I do see fish swimming around in all these tubs, so I know they're in there. It's just a matter of waiting for fry at this point. This one, as you can see, it has a couple lily blooms. You may be able to see the fish under the surface there. I would expect fry in this tub anytime now, really. If I don't start seeing fry soon, then I'll add some more underwater plants for the meteor minnows in here. Meteor minnows are the long-finned white clouds. But again, like I'm getting nice blooms in here, and I would expect these other tropical lilies to start throwing out flowers soon. If you look down in the waters, way at the bottom, there's a bunch of those orange fin danios swimming around. I'm not sure if I'll get fry from these guys this season or not because they were a bit young, but it's entirely possible. Look at these hens and chicks too. They're absolutely massive. Some of these I've been working with, like this green variety that I don't even know what it is, since we moved here almost 15 years ago. See, this red one is doing crazy things too. I really find working with succulents and just gardening in general to be a super fun hobby. So it's nice to see plants doing as well as these are.